Hey folks, and welcome to another video of mine. Now today's video is going to be slightly different to what I generally put out on Wednesdays. Now the reason why it's slightly different is because of the fact that the Wednesday videos are generally product related. Now I generally speak on televisions, on cameras, like the one that I'm recording this video on, the DJI Pocket 2. So why is today's video different? It's because I'm not going to talk about any product. I'm rather going to talk about off Facebook activity and why it is important for people like you and me. So in case you are interested in finding out about off Facebook activity, kindly stick around till the end of this video and you'll get to know about it. So with that said, let's start and let's get to find out about off Facebook activity. Let's start, folks. What's off Facebook activity? Let's first read what Facebook's website tells you it is. Quote, off Facebook activity includes information that businesses and organizations share with us about your interactions with them, such as visiting their apps or websites, end quote. Now, what is ironically funny is that the name gives it all away. Now, it is your time away from Facebook, and it means that even if you're not logged into Facebook or using Facebook online, they will still keep getting information about you while you are off Facebook. Well, confused? Now, here's how it works. To give you context, we first have to understand Facebook's business model, how they operate, and how they make money. So let's first find out about that. 98.5% of all of Facebook's revenue comes from their ad business, which means that businesses from all over the world, they run their ad campaigns on Facebook, and through Facebook, they do their marketing. Now, Facebook promises these business analytics tools to help track their ad performance, to monitor the ad performance. And what I want you to do is keep this information in mind, because this is basically the basis of this video here today. Now, speaking of advertisements, remember a time before all of these digital advertisements, we used to get advertisements through the print medium, like brochures, newspapers, magazines, and in fact, we even used to get advertisements on televisions and radio. Now, I always say this, the digital world, it is a reflection of the real world. So the activities, the softwares that we use, the applications that we use or that we see in the digital world, they all exist to solve real world problems, real world issues. And although one could run ads, through these mediums, these mediums that we just spoke about, print or television or radio, businesses basically did not have insight into their ad campaigns, and therefore they could not ascertain the effectiveness of their ad campaign. Now, the urge to be able to look at this micro data, like the reach of the ads, the demographic of the ads, how many views, how many clicks have happened on your advertisements or on your ad campaigns, well, all of that led to the need and the birth of digital advertisements, which allowed you to access all of that information, perhaps even more. But by doing so, it gave birth to a whole new set of problems, which mainly has to do with privacy and security. So basically, to solve one issue, we gave birth to a whole new set of issues. Now, Facebook, in this case, tapped into the need or needs of businesses, and it helped them run their ads digitally. So what started off as just one company, in this case Facebook, collecting data from you about you and your online activities, online from their website or from their app, moved over to data being collected about you and your online activities from not just Facebook, but also all these other businesses who use Facebook's business tools on their app or website. Now, is this getting confusing? Let me give you an example. Let's say you walk into, log onto a website, an online store, and buy a pair of shoes. If the online shop is registered with Facebook's business tools, then there's a very good chance that Facebook has been provided this data by the online shoe store, and please note that you don't even have to be logged into Facebook for this whole process. Similarly, if you visited a website to order a bouquet, and again, the website uses Facebook's business tools, which is nothing but a tracking software, then the moment you scroll around on their website, your browsing data gets captured and then reported back to Facebook. So this way, Facebook gets to know that you are looking for a bouquet, and the moment you come online, log into Facebook, you're going to get ads of ordering bouquets online. Facebook collects data on you from all their business partners who use their so-called business tools, and they have their tracker code on these websites, which effectively are passing on your information to Facebook. So at this stage, you don't even need to be logged in or use a Facebook ID to log into an app or a website. They still are gonna get access to your data. This is your off Facebook activity. Under any privacy law, or even if you take GDPR as an example, a company needs to declare how it is collecting your information, how it is storing your information, and most importantly, how it is using your information. Do you recall Facebook telling you any of this? Now, they simply pass the buck on to their partners or businesses who use their business tools, whom they say should also technically be informing you about your data collection. So I'm just gonna simply read from Facebook's website again, and this will give you an idea as to how Facebook generally passes on the buck to their partners or businesses using their business tools. Quote, "We also require that businesses and organizations provide notice to people before using our business tools." End quote. Now, tell me something. Do you recall any website telling you about them using Facebook's business tools? Well, I don't recall any. Now, according to Facebook, I'm just going to share my own experience. And according to Facebook, all these websites, they have provided Facebook with my online activity information. And I don't recall any notice or any information provided to me by any of these sites stating that they use Facebook's business tools. On Facebook's website, their privacy setting is basically a hidden setting which you will only be able to find if you read about it, or if you're watching a video like this, by the way. So shouldn't it be easier for you to be able to find something this important, especially if it concerns your data and your privacy? Now, please note that Facebook has always been in the news for their carelessness and exploitation of customer data. Now, remember their mood manipulation program or experiment from 2014, where basically they allowed an internal group of data scientists to run an experiment, which is this mood manipulation experiment, and they got information from over 500,000 users without receiving their consent. Or what about their program called Beacon from 2007? Yes, way back in 2007, which illegally shared users' online purchases from third-party sites on the newsfeed. And this one takes the cake, by the way. And this one's from 2019. Storing passwords in plain text format. Now, I run a software company and I understand the importance of data security and privacy. And by the way, I'm not advertising my business, by the way, but all I'm saying is that even a basic developer will understand how important it is to hash or encrypt your password and then store your password. All right, storing your password in plain text format is a digital sin, you could say, and it is a huge violation of your security, of your privacy, and it is a huge threat online. No company, leave Facebook aside, no company should be doing this, and in this case Facebook did do that in 2019, where it stored your passwords, my passwords, in plain text format. And this is not just Facebook, I'm even talking about Instagram. So it's Facebook, Instagram, all these passwords were getting stored in text file format, which is a huge security violation and a huge security threat. So what can you do to combat this? Well, for starters, turn the off Facebook activity off. Now, how do you do that? I'm going to help you out here. All you need to do is, when you log on to Facebook from your website, from a browser, just go to settings and privacy, and then go to settings, and from settings go to your Facebook information, which you'll be able to see on the left hand side panel. And then you need to click on off Facebook activity. There'll be a small button which says view. So just click on view and then click on manage your off Facebook activity, and then click on manage future activity. Now there will be an option of turning this toggle off where it says future off Facebook activity. Just make sure that you turn this toggle off, and you should be able to turn your off Facebook activity off. Now here is the bad news, and there is bad news unfortunately. Does this mean that Facebook will no longer receive your data? The answer is a big no. Now, because all the businesses who use Facebook's business tools, they will still collect your data and they will still report it back to Facebook. So what's the point of turning this off Facebook activity off? Now, Facebook will no longer be able to send you targeted ads, which means that now when Facebook sends advertisements to you, it will literally send everything. So how is this any better? Now, in short term, it's not, but in the long term, if more and more people turn this off Facebook activity off, Facebook will no longer have your permission for these targeted ads, which means that the businesses who use Facebook to run their ad campaigns will start seeing a dip in their performance, in their ad performance, and they will get comparatively lower results from their ad campaigns than before. And because Facebook can no longer bombard you with these targeted ads, of course, you're literally getting everything, and therefore businesses, they're not going to be able to target you like they used to. All right, so that's going to be different. And over a period of time, not immediately, but over a period of time, this will mean that businesses will no longer find Facebook's advertisements or their ad campaigns effective, and therefore they might start giving or they might start in fact moving to alternative ways of advertising. Now, to give you context, imagine a scenario where you picked up your newspaper and or maybe a magazine, and the only advertisements you saw were the advertisements based on your online activities over the last few days or weeks. Would there be a higher chance of you picking up your phone and then contacting this this company who ran their advertisements, dialing their number, which is in the advertisement that you're seeing on the newspaper or in the magazine? Well, this is a scenario where you have the off Facebook activity turned on. Now, on the other hand, if you picked up the newspaper or if you picked up that magazine, well, you still got ads. But these ads are random. They're not based on your online activities. It's just like it used to be in the good old days, right? Where the publisher of the newspaper does not know what your online activities are, or it does not know what your activities are, and therefore it is basically just publishing these advertisements based on who's paying them. They don't have access to all your data, right? So if you want to contact someone, in this case, well, even in this case, you'd pick up the phone and you will contact that business if you really want to contact them. But in this case, your mind is not going to be conditioned to call them, if you know what I mean. And this is a scenario where your off Facebook activity has been turned off. Now, I felt it important to provide this information to all you lovely folks. Now, what you do with it is totally up to you. Now, this video has not been created with an intent of targeting Facebook or to badmouth, Facebook, but it is simply to bring the truth forward. Now, if you feel this truth needs to be shared, then please go ahead, share this with as many people as possible, because just you or me turning the off Facebook activity off will not have any impact. But if millions of people turn the off Facebook activity off, then that will be the start of a movement of truth, transparency, and even freedom from the exploitation of your data. So, what do you think about this video, folks? I hope you've liked this video. In case you have, then please go ahead and hit that like and hit that subscribe button. It's free, nobody's charging you for that. And also hit that bell icon to get notified with all my latest videos. Now, in case you found this information useful, then please go ahead and share what you felt about this video in the comments section. I would love to hear from you, because your comments, your suggestions, that's what keeps this channel going and growing, as I always say. So that brings us to the end of another video, folks. That's a wrap for this one. Thank you so much for watching again. This is me signing off. Take care, stay safe until we meet again in the next one. God bless you all.